Hey everyone, welcome to Ironis Insights. We have a special guest here today, Tom Bendien, CEO, GT Edge AI. Thanks so much for joining us, Tom. I know you have a crazy busy schedule. Where are you calling from today?
Yep, coming out of Leesburg, Virginia today, in North Virginia, right next to Data Center Alley.
Excellent. As you can probably hear by the sirens, it's in New York, New York here.
Yep.
Always a fun time over here. So, Tom, I know you have a really interesting background. We're really excited to hear what you have to say. So why don't you talk about a little bit how you got started?
Absolutely, yeah. I grew up in New Zealand. I enlisted in the New Zealand Air Force straight out of high school doing avionics. I was very much a hands-on, practical person. I wasn't suited to go straight to college and just do a lot of the book work. I'm definitely one of these hands-on, practical guys, learn by doing. And then after I left the military, I went into broadcast engineering and SATCOM. So I actually worked in Australia, out of Europe, the UK, in the 90s there. Then I came to the US in the late 90s and I got started on my career with very large IT OEMs like Oracle, Cisco, IBM, HPE. Did a couple of startups, worked for a couple of startups. And then when COVID hit in 2020, I was in tech layoffs and I thought, hey, let's let's start a small hosting company, which I did. Then I did that. I had another couple of tech layoffs, and when AI started with ChatGPT in 22, going into 23, I said, hey, I want to try to transform my hosting company into an AI company that focuses on AI with data privacy. And so that's where we were in 2023.
No, that's incredible. I mean, so you're a couple years old now, right?
Yep.
And I understand you have really tremendous success. You just got into NVIDIA Inception, right?
Yes.
And I mean, can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Absolutely, yes. So, firstly, we're very thankful. Thank you, NVIDIA, for accepting us. And we're also, because of what we do, and we're big, developers. We build our own software and things like that. They said, hey, we want developers like you guys to start building on our platforms. And in particular, the DGX Spark that was launched last week, officially at GTC DC. We saw the opportunity to leverage the NVIDIA ecosystem in terms of their DGX devices, the RTX Pro servers that are being brought to market by Dell and HPE and some larger OEMs. We saw the opportunity to focus on building our software, our AI operating system for those platforms, so that both we, when our customers want local AI with data privacy or compliance, right? They can't, most clients, or a lot of clients that have controlled regulated environments, they can't use mainstream AI for compliance reasons. By being invited by NVIDIA, we were able to then start really focusing on developing on their operating system. And so we were able to launch our AI OS Gen 2 with NVIDIA last week in DC. And so
Wow.
here we are, and we've already done our first commercial deployment for a client, a company that has a regulated environment, and we already deployed a DGX platform in their office, and they're very happy because they can enjoy full-featured AI with compliance. And so, yeah, we've done a bit of work in the last couple of years, but it's going well. Thank you.
Incredible, man. I mean, it's really exciting to hear. It's always nice to hear a success story like that, especially so young as a company.
Yeah.
And I mean, you have to have a lot of competition when it comes to building AI, right? Even finding talent to do so.
Yes, let's unpack that. There's some very important points you have there. So, from a competition standpoint, you know, we're what we hear right now is that we're somewhat unique in the approach we've taken, which is we've developed a software product, an enterprise software product that can be deployed on-prem or in any cloud. I mean, it just runs in Kubernetes, right? You can deploy it anywhere you want.
Mhm.
But we've seen there's other software products out there like LM Studio and OpenWeb UI and a couple of others, and we've worked with those guys and we love those guys and they're doing a great job. And what we said is let's look at creating a software product that's really geared towards enterprise types of scenarios with role-based access, two-factor login, observability, audit trails, right? A lot of permissions based on who's using what agents and what what data sets they're using and things like that, and also having a billing engine built in. Right, having a billing engine built in allows you now to build an MSP product with AI software, and you put all of that together. You now have a product that's ready for MSPs and for the enterprise. And because the software is so lightweight, we can actually deploy it on Apple Silicon MacBooks. So we have a customer where we've done what we call full local off the grid, OTG we call it. And so we have deployment for customers on an Apple Pro MacBook. And then we can also deploy it on any ARM processor or x86 server. And so we now have this enterprise software stack that's really very suitable for enterprise use and for MSPs to build services on. Yeah.
I love it. Fully local OTG, off the grid.
Off the grid, OTG, bro.
So cool.
That's the way to go.
Yeah, that's so cool. I love that. I mean, incredible. Who are the companies that you're using? I mean, you mentioned compliance, right? But yep. I mean, are you going after anyone specific that you'd like to help, or?
Yes. So the local deployment or deploying AI as a software product that's connected to either local inference or external inference is really applicable for niche use cases or environments like healthcare, hospitals, financial organizations, and cybersecurity companies and defense contractors. People that have clear cybersecurity requirements where when we talk about what we call data flows, right, where is that data going, where is it stored, and where is it processed is critical, because those companies require that to be very tightly controlled and tightly documented. And it's not always possible to use mainstream services for those use cases, or it's difficult. But in any case, even if you figure all that out, the problem is that for an enterprise to really roll out, full generative AI with observability, audit, trails, role-based access, all of that stuff, that product doesn't really exist fully in the market today, right? Yes, the mainstream guys, Google, Microsoft, OpenAI, they have products that aren't being used by the enterprise, absolutely, but they don't necessarily have the hyper personalization that our product offers as a software product, and they sometimes do have compliance issues. There are also deployment complexity issues, right? Mm-hmm. So, the approach we took to designing the GTA operating system was, it was like going from back in the day, you may not remember this, but back in the day when computers first came out in very early 90s, we had a thing called DOS, Microsoft DOS, which was like Linux command line stuff.
Yeah.
Right? And then the problem was there that computing wasn't as accessible for users. It was not as easy to use DOS. It was like Linux command line. Linux command line is phenomenal for developers and people that are building stuff, but not the mainstream. When Microsoft launched Windows, right, the graphical user interface, it made computers accessible to everybody. When OpenAI launched ChatGPT with a web UI, it's very easy to use. They made AI accessible to everybody. But when you go a step further, you go to the enterprise, you now start needing all those features we just talked about. That we're one of the few guys right now that are actually doing something like that. And so what that does is it's like going from command line AI tools and workflows to a full GUI type experience that simplifies and allows organizations to use and get value out of AI very quickly with compliance and data privacy.
Super interesting, and I love the analogy. Yeah, believe it or not, I do remember the DOS. My dad is a computer science at Carnegie Mellon, and we would build computers together. Was one of the first things we did, and I remember when the Windows came out, and everyone was excited, and it was this massive wave. And it's exactly what's happening with OpenAI right now, and everyone it's really out to the masses, but. Yeah, I mean, it sounds to me that you're really packaging something together and offering a specific product and service that maybe these other tools ad hoc can't do, right?
Yeah, well, there's a couple of things here. They don't really have, at least not at the moment, they don't really have all of the features that enterprise wants out of the box ready to deploy, we do, and then we deliver. So, and when we deliver our software product as a GT managed SaaS product, so we do have our own physical data center where we build everything ourselves. Everything is there from the ground up. I've been building and deploying systems and data centers for a number of years. I have some idea of how to do that, and I've been involved in architecting very large service provider class environments. So I have some idea of how to do that. But then the other thing with the mainstream guys is that you basically have a bit of vendor lock-in, right? So if you're using their service, you're locked into their models. There's some limitations here. Our software is vendor neutral. So it's the foundation. It's like Windows, right? You deploy Windows on a computer, you can install whatever apps you want. You can connect it to whatever network you want or whatever you want. It's the same thing here with the GT AI operating system. So from a deployment perspective, the AI OS is designed to avoid all lock-in, give you full flexibility. You can go full local. You can go use external APIs and external inference services, external AI search services to your liking, including you can absolutely use the OpenAI models through API. You can use anything you want. But there, yeah.
It's awesome. I mean, it sounds like an incredible product, and you're actually building your own data centers and.
Yep. So the thing here is though, we're basically a software company. We're a software company that knows how to deploy our software in data centers. We want to enable other companies with our software product to build their own products and services on it. So we also have companies that are MSP hosting companies that said, hey, we want to build AI products for our customers. Our customers have their data in our data centers. We want to put the AI OS layer on top of that so we can have the AI tools connecting to our customers' data, and we want to offer that as a new kind of product to our customers. And so the cool thing here again is the product that the AI OS is designed to allow them to do that and do it very quickly with very, very limited skills. I mean, you don't need to be an AI architect to deploy our product. We already did that work. You just need to learn how to deploy it. Then you need to learn how to create agents, and as far as you like, we'll help you. But yeah, the idea is to get you going quickly and to enable your use cases and workflows.
Yeah. And how are these companies finding you now? I mean, you obviously got a ton of exposure partnering with NVIDIA, and I mean, you have a lot of buzz right now. But I mean, how do they even find you? There's so much noise out there. I feel like with AI and
there is noise. So what we're doing is we're focusing our sales and marketing efforts on three primary use cases, right? So we build what's called CMMC compliant AI platforms for the defense industrial base, and also actually the Department of War organization. So we now have private AI that can be delivered coming out of our data center that has CMMC level 1 compliance. That we finished doing that. They can consume it as a managed SaaS service. We can also deploy it with our NVIDIA servers on-prem or local in their enclave. So the idea is that this is CMMC compliant, ready to use AI for that community. The next one is cybersecurity and governance, risk and compliance workflows. So cybersecurity GRC companies, we call it. Those guys have a lot of issues. They have to process large amounts of documents and files and extract insights out of those documents and files. And then they need to compare those files with regulatory frameworks such as CMMC, such as SOC 2, such as HIPAA, other things, right? Various things. And right now, those are very manual processes in the most part. And it takes a lot of what I call mental gymnastics for these guys, right? Do a lot of mental gymnastics, correlating and spreadsheets and PDFs. So with our platform, because it has that local and privacy built in, they can just feed all their customer data into a software instance of our AI OS, and they can do whatever they want and ensure that they're not breaching compliance boundaries or data privacy boundaries, right? Lastly, education, right? You touched briefly on talent pipeline. So we're very heavily involved in coaching and AI upskilling in K-12 and colleges.
Yeah.
So we're very heavily involved there. We do many AI cyber competitions. We do many of those. You'll see those on our website, on our events page. And so we've also developed our own talent pipeline. Some of the guys that are working now that are in college are working full-time, part-time with me. I started coaching them in junior and seniors at high school in the cyber clubs and AI clubs. And I've obviously found some amazing guys and gals that are now, they're not even out of college yet, and they're already working for an AI company doing AI stuff now.
I've seen so much of that. Kids in high school just being very fascinated with the AI and going through coaching like yourself. So you're telling me you actually coach, like these are essentially your proteges that you were coaching,
that's a very true. That's exactly how people refer to these guys at. And the good thing is, what we also do, part of our coaching is we tell them we have them make sure they coach other people. So once we passed on our tribal knowledge, as I say, we say, hey, don't think of yourself as not being ready or able to pass on that tribal knowledge to others. You need to do this immediately. It's part of our whole coaching program, is that we are getting them to be AI coaches themselves. And so I have, many pictures, which I can send you if you'd like, where you can drop those in, showing how I'll be coaching one person 1 year on a capstone doing AI stuff. And then the very next year, they're now coaching a group of seven other students. And so it's like this is a model that we need to embrace in the educational system and in the workplace. Say, hey, you need to coach and develop a couple of experts that have good interpersonal skills that can then pass on the tribal knowledge to others. That way it's a force multiplier,
It's extremely important, and education gets brought up on almost every single one of my podcasts here.
Yep.
And it's such an important factor. And you are one person, right? You can only do so much yourself, but it's like passing it on to others, giving them the skills and ability to do that and the resources to do that. I think it's genius. And it's also able to benefit you as well, because you get some great employees.
Yeah. I mean, so as I say, right, a good leader creates other leaders, and a good leader leads himself out of a job, right? So I'm one of, and so, going from that transition from in 2023, when we started developing our Gen 1 software, and I was doing everything by myself: sales, operations, finance, building the data center, helping to product manage software, doing, everything. I got it done. We got our first billable customers in 2024. We got a seed round in early 25. We've now been accepted by NVIDIA into their ecosystem. But that's also partly because I've also been cultivating the talent and making sure that we can have repeatable and scalable processes, and that we do a lot of work on our deployment run books. We do a huge amount of documentation and making it all like a checklist. This goes back to my military aviation days, where pilots have checklists, right? And they go through this. And so I've tried to bring that mentality to everything we do here with the people we work with, and it's working very well. So,
yeah, I mean, it sounds like you've had a ton of success. I got to ask, it's not a fun question, but like, what's troubling you right now? What do you see in the market or what at your company do you wish you could improve? Or there's a lot.
Yeah. I think, I think for a startup, I think, scaling sales is probably the most difficult thing. We have the product, we know how to deploy it, we have operations that are set up and doing it now. It's just figuring out how to scale sales in a cost-effective way, because what we're seeing is it's actually very difficult to sell AI solutions. It's very difficult because most people don't fully understand how to do it. It's very difficult to get good salespeople. There are very good salespeople out there, but to help salespeople understand how to sell AI solutions is very difficult. It requires very multidisciplinary skills and a lot of creativity and imagination. The other skill set that is an incredible opportunity for displaced workers and others and students even is what they're now calling a forward deployed engineer, an FDE, right? So we hear about AI companies putting very expensive engineers with clients, but these are the kind of engineers that also have interpersonal skills, that have the ability to understand use cases and workflows, that then have the ability to convert those use cases and workflows into AI agents, agentic workflows, which requires a lot of prompt engineering. And prompt engineering is all about language. It's all about talking to the LLM and steering the LLM. It's very difficult or almost impossible to find individuals that have those skills. Very difficult. Yeah. And so the good news is an incredible need. And so the people I'm hiring are actually liberal arts people. They're people that understand language, that understand communication, that have domain expertise in a specific area, that can convert their knowledge and understanding and relatability in the area to helping to develop those use cases and workflows. And then, being able to communicate that to the developers, who then have to create the agents and do all the model configs and everything to make it actually work properly. So it's there's a whole new sort of category of skill sets that needs to be developed. Our education system is not doing that right now. It's not anyone's fault. I'm not saying that. It's just saying that the sort of skills we need right now and going forward are not being made available in a broad sense. Everyone's still teaching knowledge, and they're teaching the old school way of doing things. It will not work. It is not going to work. And the people that I get in my programs that don't have the creativity, that don't have that, all of that, they don't do well. They just can't. And it takes time for them to skill up. and
Yeah, no, I mean it's very interesting, and yeah, having someone have all of those different skill sets certainly unique, and because it was never needed before, right? So why would people have them? It's a new.
Yep.
So yeah, I think I could see how that could be a big challenge. Listen, Tom, I know you're busy and you got to run. I want to just thank you so much for your time, but can you tell the audience where can they find you?
Yeah, absolutely. My website. We're at a lot of conferences, so definitely check out all our events. We're in a lot of conferences. Um, I speak at a lot of conferences as well. We run AI workshops a lot of places. We welcome anybody that wants an AI workshop or wants to get on our coaching programs, whether it's on-prem, on-site, or virtual. We want to contribute to people being successful with AI. So just reach out to us, go to our website, and then we'll help you in any way we can.
Amazing. Thanks so much again, Tom. I appreciate it. And check out those links below, guys, and give Tom a call.
You bet.
Thanks. See
Thanks,
you.
guys.
Bye.